This is By Any Means Podcast with your host, your boy Bleed, where we dive deep into government corruption, law enforcement, and police brutality. Those cases that need to be brought more to light for better understanding for the layman.
What's up, everybody? You know how I am. I'm going to dive right into this. So where's the money, man? I'm sitting up here feeling like Stewie Griffin in the Family Guy episode, getting ready to choke out Brian about my money, man. I need my money, man. You know why I need my money, man? Because I only got $1,200 and a little $600 check. Some peanuts, man. While corporate America ripped us all off for $4 trillion. $4 trillion was stolen during this epidemic from us, you know. While 48% of the frontline workers are going without sick pay. And another 43 million Americans don't even have health insurance. You know, by January, there'll be another 34 billion in unpaid rent. So now you got to ask yourself, where's the, what they doing with the money? Maybe we should write our congressman, man. Where's the money, man? Where's the money that went to the hedge funds and the lobbyists and the corporate businesses that created jobs that didn't even need filled just to get more PPP, more PPP loan money? In 1984, there was a doctor that came on the scene, very cutting edge young man, but he made a big mistake. He said that HIV and AIDS was transmissible through contact. Later on down the line, in the years, we understand that that was wrong. But he misdiagnosed HIV in 1984. This fabulous young doctor that was on the edge of cutting edge science. And you'll never believe who that doctor was that misdiagnosed the HIV epidemic and said that AZT was safe to take. And later, we find out that AZT has irreversible effects that have these people physically messed up for years. Well, that doctor is none other than the fabricating doctor who says that he has never got money for gain of function research, none other than Anthony Fauci, the leading doctor now. The leading doctor on the case who lied under oath about the same type of research that has the world in chaos. What does this have to do with money? Well, the United States government has funded this gain of function research in none other than places like Wuhan. So now that the debt is boiling out of control, the healthcare system has made record profits off of this, and Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and everybody else have gotten government contracts to give us a spike protein. You got to ask yourself, where's the money? Because our national debt is boiling over. The reason why we couldn't stay in Afghanistan is because we couldn't afford it. That's the reason why we pulled out so much. They're selling America up under us, trying to keep us out of debt because the deficit is boiling over. There's companies that for the past 10 years have been recording debt like crazy. I don't even want to quote numbers because then there'll be some gotcha guy like, I gotcha. No, we're not going to play that game. Just Google it. There's companies that haven't been reporting profit in the last 10 years, and now they're buying gold. Not just gold certificates in hopes to later buy gold. These companies are buying gold bars. They're getting ready for something. So what I'm going to say is this. You got to follow the trends. You got to follow the people who know money, not people who say they know money, who got the phone money by their ear. Not to not to crack on them guys, but that's not money. And if you can carry your money, then you ain't got money. And that's just flat out. You know what I mean? These people are buying assets, they're buying land, they're buying gold. So now you gotta understand, they're not really messing with the stocks like that, because they've bought up the stocks, they flipped them, and then they sold them to other people, and now you guys are buying them for pennies off of Acorn and everything else. So you got to start you got to start trying to get some gold. You got to start trying to get some type of assets because something's coming. There's been predictions by the year 2030, and I'm not trying to scare people, but America won't be the same. Now, don't mark my words, but look at what's going around, just financially. How, the meat market, you go to the meat market, you go to buy meat. It's crazy prices because the meat markets have band together, and now they're controlling the prices, and they're gouging the farmers and the average Joe. And you got to understand there's a separation. Once that meat goes to the meat markets, if they go on sale, the farmer has no control over that price. They give him some type of crazy price for the meat. You think that that farmer is making a bunch of money off of that meat? Nah, it's the meat markets that resell that meat, and they've band together, and they're screwing us. They're screwing us over, the average worker, man. We are the ones that run this country. Don't you get it? We really run the country. The president doesn't run the country. Congress doesn't run the country. The average working, tax-paying American runs the country. It does. Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, a Republican, or a liberal. We run the country. We vote these people in. We can vote them out. It's easy as that. The World Economic Reform and government tyranny is just crazy. Some people talking about an economic reset. We definitely don't want to reset. That means we'll own nothing and be happy. That means we'll own nothing. And that's scary. Because if you own nothing, you are nothing. Because you have no desire to do anything, because everything is handed to you. And this country and these people, they can't handle what they have now. They can't take care of us now. How would they take care of us if they had to take care of all our wants and needs? We would go without, flat out. 48% of frontline workers don't even have health insurance, remember? So what would they do? Trying to take care of us free? I don't think so. Nothing is free. Nothing is free but the money they keep printing. Yeah, keep printing. This petrodollar. That this money is going to be the death of us. But while the average American got $1,200 and $600 checks, new incoming Afghans will be receiving at least $2,200 in startup money coming in. Where is this money coming from? If you got $2,200 to give them, you got $2,200 to start paying off some of this debt or fixing this country. And now I'm talking about this infrastructure bill, because that infrastructure bill ain't what it really is. You need to really check it out. The reason why they write these bills with 100 and some odd pages is because the average American is not going to read it. And some of them senators and congressmen and all that, they're not reading them all. You have very few who will sit there and bone pick it. We're screwed, man. We're screwed. And the only thing that we could do is start, getting melting grandma silver down, them old getting some gold, melting it down or whatever because it's coming to that. Started learning how to farm. You don't see Walker Flock of Flame. He bought a bunch of land. He farming on it. I don't know the stock market too well. I know it a little bit, but I'm not smart enough to make $1 million in the stock market. So that's not for me. If that's for you, okay. If you're a forex trader and you know how to get a bunch of money real quick on that, you better invest in some real gold. Not gold certificates, real gold or some real silver, because you're gonna need them metals. You know what I mean? You gotta understand something. This epidemic, it's gonna make matters worse as we get in later into the winter. Some of these booster shots, they might not be what they promised, because you know people don't pay attention to the news. But two senior officials at the FDA up and resigned about 2 weeks ago because of all the pressure from the White House coming. Get your finances together. Liquidate stuff that you don't need. Minimize. Hunker down. Don't do a bunch of crazy spending. They're going to want you to spend. The lobbyists, they want to shoot. They really want this stimulus package to pass. But they're really aiming just at older folks. Older folks who already are on Social Security and things of that nature. They haven't worked. I'm not attacking them. I'm saying they get a certain amount of money. Hopefully that things are not priced that high, so they can afford everything, because we know that like meat is getting so outrageous and their medication is getting so outrageous that they might end up doing things that we don't want them to do. When the older people feel like they're burdens, what happens? Or some of these people, they feel like they need to save money, so they end up eating pet foods and stuff like that, and that's horrible. That's horrible. But we ended up, I think we're ended up worse in a society where I can guarantee it. Some people probably has eaten some pet foods and stuff like that to save money during this horrible time, because man, look, people are going without. If 34 billion in unpaid rent by January, you know how many Americans is going to be out of their home. They're just going to keep extending this eviction moratorium. I don't think so. Eventually, this bubble is going to burst, and then I don't know. I don't know how America's going to get over it. Like I said, people have been predicting by 2030, it's going to be a wrap for us.